Mike Lowe with Core Home Loans, and I'm here today with Barry HABIB again. Thank you so much, Barry, for coming on. Three-time Crystal Ball Award winner, being the most accurate real estate forecaster and economist around today. So here with Barry, Nancy, and Pablo, both from Core Home Loans. Welcome, you guys, and thanks again, Barry. Just wanted to kind of start with asking you, there's been a lot of recent headlines in the year-over-year median home price dropping for the first time in 11 years. We've seen it all over the news, although it did only drop 0.2%. Curious about your thoughts on that.
Well, that's a great question. And hi, Pablo. Hi, Nancy. And Mike, it's always good to see you. Yeah, way to get some headlines over something that's misleading, right? So let's, as you pointed out, Mike, you're 100% right. The headline was that the median home price for the first time in 11 years, it dropped. Okay. But let's read the fine print. Number one, it dropped by a statistically insignificant 0.2% after 11 years of going higher. So this is, first of all, the median home price. You know what the median home price is? The median home price is the middle price that is purchased. So if there's more activity in purchasing lower priced homes, it will skew the numbers lower. It just means people are buying more lower priced homes and less more expensive homes. That kind of stands to reason with what's going on here. Rates go up, so it makes those more expensive homes certainly a lot more expensive to finance. But even more importantly than this is the fact that there has been appreciation. If we take a look at the most recent numbers that we received, and we're going to be getting some updates to this, but from both FHFA and Case-Shiller, they're showing respectively that home values year over year actually up around 8% and 5% year over year. Now, will these numbers potentially moderate? Sure, they could moderate, but I think we are at a level right now where we're probably going to see inflation come down, and we're probably going to see these offers that you can now purchase a home at get a little bit more difficult, similar to what we saw in January. As inflation came down, you saw multiple offers, you saw prices actually starting to go up. We're in a really tight inventory environment. And just to kind of reinforce this with you, I want to just show you something here, Mike, that kind of helps out here. Here was the headline that you pointed to. So way to go. Yeah, exactly. The big headline, 363,700. The median home price is down 0.2. She forgot to mention that on a month over month basis, they were up 1.3% month over month. She forgot to mention that. Okay. So yeah, as I mentioned, Case-Shiller and FHFA both showing they've gone up. So look, Diana Olick has been wrong for 10 years on the housing market, as she's been very, very negative, telling people don't buy, rent, that there's going to be a bubble and a crash. She's been saying crash since 2015. She said 2015, 16. She's been claiming that we're in a bubble since then. But it's tough to bet against the housing market, right? And here's why, is this will show you what values on homes. This is actual appreciation, what actual appreciation has done for the past 81 years. So we're going to go back in the time machine here, back to 1942. You see all these greens? Those are up years. The white, that's flat. And the red, well, that's down years. So what's the housing market? We're going to call them the champ. You know why? Because 73 up, 7 down, 1 tie. You really want to bet against the champ, Diana? You really want to bet against housing? You've got to be in the housing market. Now, a lot of people out there, and I want us to just study this for a second, because a lot of people out there will say something to the extent of, oh, they've gone up, so they've got to come down, they've got to crash. Well, what happened here, guys? Up 11, 17, 12, 24, 21. Did it crash afterwards? No, it took 42 years more of up years before we saw a down year. And what was the down year? Minus 1%, a fraction of 1%, not exactly a crash. And we've had other stretches where appreciation, look at this, up 10, 7, 8, 15, 16, 14, 7. Was there a crash? No. Now, we did have an area here, and this is what everybody focuses on. So you got 81 years of data. Everybody focuses on what happened here. But this was predominantly due to demographics, because there were just too many homes built. We're in an opposite situation now. There were not enough demographics of people coming of age to buy. We're in an opposite situation now, because you look at what the crop of household formations are. much, much stronger. So a very different situation. And inventory during this period had 4 million units on the market. There's less than a million today, and our population's grown by 30 million people. So people say, because, okay, look, you had a couple of big years here, we got to crash. Well, no, that's not the case. And by the way, one other point about this period of time. How about the mortgage application? You know, what was the mortgage application then? Here's the mortgage app. Here, breathe on this. Approved, right? That was the mortgage application basically back then. Hold on, wait a second. Yep, you're approved. You've got a pulse. We have nothing like that today. You know, we're in an entirely different environment. Vacancy rates were much higher because people were gaming the system. They were buying homes not to live in them, but to flip that home, not to rent them, but to flip the home today. And that's why vacancy rates on both owner occupied and rentals were sky high. Today, not only are they low, they're at all-time lows. So there's no phantom empty homes out there that you got to dump. These are people that are buying homes to actually live in, or buying homes to actually rent them out to tenants who live there.
Yeah, and it seems like Diana Olick we were in Vegas, the three of us actually were recently, and watched you give a presentation, which was just phenomenal. And you brought up a chart with Diana Olick and all of the headlines over the years, and then you had the appreciation next to that, and it was crazy, and it's so eye-opening.
Well, Mike, here's the thing: no one is right 100% of the time.
Right.
You know, and I think you all know me, like, we get it wrong here and there. And when we do, what's the first thing we do? We got it wrong. You know, so John Maynard Keynes, he said this. He said, when the facts change, I change. What do you do, sir? Very famous quote. But some people, they've been so wrong for so long, they're just going to fall on the sword instead of saying, hey, you know what? Okay, I'm human. I was wrong. Let's look at the facts and let's change our way of thinking here. For some people, for a lot of successful people, that works, to change your way of thinking and to understand it's okay. Admit you're wrong, but to stay married to a position forever, it's probably not the best course of action. Not if you want to give accurate information.
And you know, I'm being on TV all the time, let alone, you know, it's like you've got to change your stance.
Well, remember, negativity is going to sell a lot more than positivity, right? So that's going to get a lot more eyeballs. Fear and you know, concern are going to get people's attention. You know, sunshine doesn't tend to do that.
Yep. Hey, if you've got a couple more minutes, curious about your reaction and thoughts about the recent Fed meeting that happened this week. We know a lot going on, but
so the Fed hiked 1/4%, which, you know, again, the same kind of thing, being married to your position. You know, the Fed's, here's the thing: Wayne Gretzky, great hockey player, had really a famous quote, and I'm going to botch the exact nature of the quote, but it was something to the effect of, rather than skate to where the puck is, let's skate to where the puck is going. But the Fed doesn't even do that. They don't even skate to where the puck is. They skate to where the puck was. You've heard them say so many times data dependent. So they're fighting inflation, which is already killed. It just takes time for that to filter through. And because the main component of the inflation reports that they get, the biggest driving factor is shelter costs. Those shelter costs are in real time coming down. So that's where the puck is. But the data dependency that they have measures data over the past year or so, which has that lag effect because it's come down significantly over the past year. So you're averaging all those months from the past year. It's showing in the inflation in this very big driver of overall inflation as being high still. Powell said, he said, well, inflation's still high. Well, if you look where the puck was, yes. If you look where the puck is, it's already coming down. And if you look where the puck is going, it's coming way down. And what the Fed always does is these boom bust cycles. It's why they thought inflation was transitory, because they were looking where the puck was, and they kept interest rates too low, too long. They have caused all of this, all the high rates we have now, the high inflation that people are suffering. And their cure for their mishap is, we want you to have pain and lose your job. That's what they said. Now, when I listened to Jerome Powell's speech, and you know, we put this on our update, we broke down his speech. And he, first of all, got the numbers wrong, which is in almost beyond imagination. This is your job, and you're not nervous in front of a camera. You're in front of a camera, microphone. You're testifying all the time. How do you not know what drives inflation? How do you not know what the components? He said shelter makes up 44% of PCE. It does not. He said non-shelter makes up 56% of PC. It does not, it's not even remotely close. It's not even in the same neighborhood as the numbers he's quoting. No wonder why he gets it wrong, because he doesn't understand it. And it's very clear when you listen. So I looked at it. We broke it down. We looked at what items is he so concerned about that he said we have to reduce the labor, people work. In other words, you got to lose your job. And we want to make demand destruction. So we want to make it more expensive. So we want to reduce your way of living. We want to make it painful. He's used the word pain so many times. So he wants to inflict pain on everybody listening. Why? Because he thinks inflation's too high. Well, what's the areas that he's looking at that are outside of shelter, that are outside of goods, which he admits is coming down? What are the services outside of shelter? We scoured it. And here's what they are: airlines, pet care, automobile maintenance and insurance. And there was another equally as almost insignificant that just doesn't come to mind right now. But so what do you want us to do? If we stop grooming our dogs, okay, we'll change our own oil. Is that what's going to make you happy? Is that what will do this for you and cause inflation to come in? It is so beyond the realm of what makes common sense. And it's analogous to somebody driving down the highway, but instead of looking straight through the windshield, which where you should be going, they're focused only in the rearview mirror. You're going to crash. And that's why they keep crashing us, guys. What it means for us is this. And then they've destroyed the banking system as well. What it means for us is this. Now, the banking system is also culpable because they didn't hedge this, but you know, it's just multiple errors.
Right.
What it means is that there's going to be less lending. It means lower inflation, and it means lower rates in the future. Bottom line.
I think you're spot on, Barry, and thank you so much. The
Got
three of us talk quite a bit. Just we need to get you on the Fed board somehow. You need to be a
I wouldn't want that job. No, I wouldn't want that
I
job.
know you would, but these guys.
I'd pull out what's left.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, hey, thank you so much. Enjoy your Friday and your weekend, and we appreciate you talking with us. Thank you, Barry.
Got it.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.